Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The Hearst Castle in San Luis Obispo County is still being severely threatened by the chimney fire. Yesterday, flames came very near the buildings. Hearst Castle employees, the facility is now a museum, assisted firefighters in trying to help extinguish the blaze. It's not yet known what the situation will be today. Big news in insurance: up to 20% of the 1,900 executives at Zurich Insurance might be fired as part of CEO Mario Greco's cost-cutting program. Swiss newspaper NZZ Sonntag is reporting that up to 20% of group executives, 190 to 380 employees, will be told that they're going to be losing their jobs at the end of the month. Sources told the newspaper that management would be first in line for cuts before staff layoffs at the lower levels of the organization. Of the 1,900 executives whose jobs are at risk, 1,300 are in Switzerland. A Zurich spokesperson told the Insurance Insider, due to the reduction of complexity in the company's operations, less people are needed for the management and coordination of the company. Nigeria's military said today that it believes an airstrike has killed the Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau, but there's no way yet to confirm whether or not the leader's been killed. This is the third time in the past 3 years they've claimed that he's been killed, only to have him resurface. The strikes came in an air raid carried out by the Nigerian Air Force while Shekau was praying on Friday, the Islamic holy day, at a village in Sambisa Forest, the main hideout for Boko Haram in northeastern Nigeria. Typhoon did indeed strike Tokyo yesterday, made landfall at about noon with winds of about 112 miles per hour, resulting in one death and dozens of people injured, many of them as a result of falls from the high winds. Hundreds of thousands were urged to leave their homes in the greater Tokyo area. Also, there were more than 500 flights canceled coming out of Narita International Airport. There was a separate second typhoon, Typhoon Kompasu, hit Japan's northern main island of Hokkaido on Sunday. Mindul is now heading to Hokkaido. There's been a tropical storm that's formed off the Cape Verde Islands in the Atlantic. This is Tropical Storm Gaston. It's about 450 miles southwest of the Cape Verde Islands off the African coast. It's moving west at 18 miles per hour. It's got sustained winds right now of 40 miles per hour. Of course, nobody knows what the track will be, and nobody yet knows if it will intensify, but it's moving west over open water that's very warm. This is a recipe for an intensifying storm, if not a hurricane. At least 40 people have died and hundreds of thousands have been evacuated in India as floods have hit vast stretches of central and eastern India. Days of heavy rain have caused the Ganges plain to rise above the danger level. 17 people died in Madhya Pradesh, 14 in Bihar, and 9 in Uttar Pradesh. About 12,000 people have been evacuated from low-lying areas. The head of the Philippines police has said that more than 1,900 people have been killed during a crackdown on illegal drugs in the last 7 weeks alone. The head of the police spoke at a Senate hearing into the sharp rise in deaths since Rodrigo Duterte became the president. He said that police operations had killed about 750 people, but that the other 1,250 deaths are still being investigated. The president has urged citizens to shoot and kill drug dealers who resisted arrest and reiterated that the killing of drug suspects were lawful if the police acted in self-defense. The U.S. has said that it's deeply concerned by the increase in drug-related killings. Mr. Duterte is very popular in the Philippines, where there is a drug scourge. France's former conservative president Nicolas Sarkozy announced yesterday he's running for the presidency again in the elections next year. The 61-year-old is expected to lead a campaign based on hardline ideas on immigration and security. For example, he has said that he would widen the 2004 ban on the Muslim headscarf in public schools to also include universities. He He also said he opposes pork-free options proposed by many school canteens for Muslim and Jewish school children. He also suggested that children born in France to parents staying illegally in the country should not be granted French nationality. These sound suspiciously similar to Donald Trump's plans. Sarkozy has to win a primary on the French right against Marine Le Pen. He lost the presidential election to the current president, Francois Hollande, in 2012. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates' net worth has now reached a record high of $90 billion. His holdings in the Canadian National Railway Company and Ecolab increased in value. This is the first time that Gates' wealth has approached the $90 billion figure. He's by far the world's wealthiest person. The wealth of Gates has grown substantially since last year. He was worth about $75 billion then. Now he's added $15 billion. The second wealthiest individual is Spanish retail executive Amancio Ortega. He's worth $76 billion. Both Gates and fellow billionaire Warren Buffett, who comes in at $63 billion, have agreed to a pledge whereby they will give away at least 50% of their net worth during their lifetimes, or at their death. Both men have agreed to give away 90% of their worth. Well, somebody's doing well in this economy at least. That's good. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back